Welcome to Kickin' with KeKe, Life, Love, and Mindset, the podcast where mindset meets movement, healing meets action, and conversations create transformation. I'm your host, Kiki Chanel, award-winning author, lifestyle blogger, owner of 19 Lifestyle Magazine, and host of Kickin' It With KeKe podcast. Around here, we talk about life, love, healing, growth, and mindset shifts that help you become the best version of yourself. So pull up a seat. We're kicking it. Today I have my very special guest that I'm kicking it with. She is not new to the platform, but she is new to the new format that we're implementing right now. I still like to give my guests the opportunity to tell you who they are. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to my good sis Joy. Thank you for coming to kick it with me. How you doing?
Doing great. First of all, thank you for having me here. I love your new format. It's amazing. Thank you so much. And I am Joy Harris. I am a personal development strategist coach for beauty professionals. I'm a retired beauty professional after being 33 years in the industry, and I decided to take my expertise outside of the chair and put it behind a different chair, and also just to guide beauty professionals through their experience as a hairstylist, barber. I help them with their emotional well-being and their wellness. Also, the burnout that goes with the industry, I help them navigate their way through that and give them a safe space since they're always holding a safe space for the clients that they serve, besides the hair services they offer. And I also help them with creating new income pathways to help them build even more income and revenue while they're still behind their chair. And that way, when they do decide to leave their chair, they still have other things going on, whether it's passive income or just increasing their income, another stream of income for their stint behind the chair. Because of many hairstylists, they work, because I was one of those hairstylists before in the beginning where I didn't think about creating another income pathway. So I want them, the new era of beauty professionals, to have that mindset where they're putting in those new things and adding more income using just the skills that they have and building something from that, whether it's digital products, whether it's classes that they know how to do and teach, just whatever they want to do to package themselves even in a broader spectrum. Other that way, behind the chair, when they don't have clients, they're still having income coming in. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been going deeper into that, and I'm really enjoying that because I'm able to see stylists flourishing more because they never really thought of that part. Some of them haven't. So I'm doing that, and I'm just loving what I'm doing right now.
Absolutely. Well, it
Oh,
looks
and the
good
main
on
part
you.
is one more part is, and I'm also a contributing writer to 19 magazine for KeKe, and I love that. That's a beautiful thing that I've been doing also. I love being a contributing writer of articles.
Listen, you beat me to the punch because I was gonna sure tell you to tell the people about the 19 Lifestyle Magazine contribution that you have going on. So thank you for sharing that. And so today we're just diving into life, love, and mindset that help shape you to be the person that you are today. So we're gonna get into the mindset moment with Coach Joy, okay?
Yes.
Because in this segment we talk about mindset that shape, different mindsets can reshape and repower or recharge, if you will, certain aspects of your life. So this is the mindset moment where we talk about what shaped you, the experiences that you've overcome and things like that. So I'll ask a couple of questions and then you just
Okay.
answer how you see fit.
Ask away.
Okay, so let's start light. What mindset shift changed the way you approach life?
Whoa. Well, my mindset shift came with I had to shift my mindset as always making sure that everyone else was okay when I wasn't.
Mm,
And it was causing me to be set back many times because I've had it was easier for me to help people on their things and their problems that they were having because that was a way for me to avoid what was really on my plate at the time. Like I had a divorce and things going on. So I threw myself fully into helping other people through their things. And while my things was going on the back burner, and then one day it just everything, my whole world just collapsed. I realized I'm not working on my own things. My whole world just kind of collapsed. I started losing things, losing people, and that shifted my mindset to know, like, you know what? I have to prioritize myself. I have to break this people pleasing mindset of feeling like
mm.
I have to always make sure I show up more for other people than myself. And once I made that shift, that's when my life shifted.
Absolutely. And I think that breaking the people pleasing mindset. Man, I think we all have gone through that at some point in time. And I wouldn't say that I was a people pleaser, but I wanted people to like me. I wanted to be liked by everybody, not realizing that some people just not gonna like you because it's who you are. Like God made you different for a reason. And so, can you speak about a moment in time when you realized that people pleasing was not beneficial to you in a positive way?
Right. And mine didn't come from like people liking me because I really kind of never really cared if they liked me or not because I liked my own self. It was
Mm,
more of I was always the fixer. Mine came from the fixer. Now I'm a really huge problem solver, but I
mhm,
wasn't working on my own problems, you know? So it became a detriment to my life when I started seeing my life dismantle. I started seeing a lot of loss, and then I started seeing a lot of people who turn on me when I wasn't doing all their things and coming joy to the rescue. When I turned the attention back to myself, my own life, I started seeing who was around me just for what I can do for them. They wasn't really loving me for real. They loved what I could do for them and how I could help them. So that was a
mm,
new and a hard reality to face because my mom used to always tell me, she said, "You're their friend, but they're not necessarily your friend." And I didn't know what she
mm.
meant until I found out what it meant when I start seeing people, when I start saying no more and standing on it without an explanation. I started seeing people falling away from me. But I needed to see that because that was part of the mindset shift also for me to see who's really there for me. And it taught me how to be there more for myself.
Absolutely. What mindset kept you grounded during the difficult season in your life? Because I know you've had to pivot like several times, but what mindset kept you, grounded during those times?
My mindset is like in my faith and me wanting more for my life and knowing that there was more inside of me. And me also, my mindset knowing that just because something has failed and fell apart does not mean that I'm finished. That means for me to get started again and that I have to pivot and then I may have to recreate another plan. So that's the mindset shift that took place. Like I have to stay, always know that just a loss right now doesn't mean I'm lost for life. That means this
Mhm.
season of my life has phased out, and that means that's God's taking me somewhere else. There's more for me to do because sometimes I find myself playing small. So some of those losses I had caused me to have to really take big leaps of faith. And that really helped me move forward and keep knowing that there's better for me and that I want it better for my son's life. It starts with me as his mom, and being a divorced mom, it started with me. So I don't have that mindset where I got to quit. I don't have a give up spirit. It makes me fight even more. Okay, I may have been knocked down, but I'm not destroyed. So I'm going to get back up swinging and even more. And I'm going to get over every hurdle that's before me. So that's the mindset that I have when I go through seasons of loss or seasons of difficulty and turmoil.
I love that. I love that. That positive self-talk is a big part of the mindset shifts that we encounter. You have to
Huge.
be able to self-motivate because a lot of people
Yeah,
need other people like ourselves. They need us to coach them through it. And at some point, I always tell my clients, I'm not gonna always be with you, so you have to know how to get yourself out of situations where you feel stuck.
right,
Take the techniques that we go through, but at some point you got to do it on your own, and you can do it.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had
So
to
what?
become my own coach. I've had to
Yes.
become my own coach. And then I make sure I stay on the positive because if I think about everything negative, it's going to be a downward spiral for my life. So I got to find the positive in every bad situation, and do that. That's what that has helped me through
Yeah, that's the
life.
law of attraction. What you put out, you get back. So if
Mhm.
you sowing negativity, guess what's gonna come back to you?
Truly.
Yeah. So what life experience forced you to grow the most?
Oh, man. I would say the experience of loss, losing the people that are my main characters, like my mom and dad, losing them. And that made me just feel like I always had an anchor, I always felt like those were my anchors. And when I didn't have them anymore, it forced me to really stand 10 toes down in my own power and discover what that power was.
Hmm.
And it became just me and God. It made me more stronger, more resilient, and it showed me the strength that I really did have within. That it didn't just wasn't just because of the parents I had and their support. I had to learn how to support myself. I had other people who in my life who supported me, but I couldn't even fully fall back and rely on that because that support can be pulled away at any time. But me, I know me, I'm solid. I'm going to stand and support myself. I know I'm going to be the one that's stable in my own support of myself. So I've strengthened that muscle, just learning how to just show up for myself and just, just being there for myself. You got to be there for your own self. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. They rely on
Yeah.
outside forces, and I can't rely on outside. I know me, I'm not going to betray myself.
Hmm.
I know I will
Absolutely.
never disappoint myself where I can't get back up. Even when I
Mhm.
fall, I'm going to get back up because that's what I will myself to do. So it can't, that's what happened.
Absolutely. And you said something that is big in who I am. You have to show up for you because you cannot expect other people to show up for you. It's not their responsibility. Although we like to have people in our lives that show up and if it makes us feel good and stuff like that, but if you're expecting those people to show up for you and you never show up for yourself, when those people don't show up for you, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel defeated.
Right?
You're going to feel less than. You're going to have that negative self-talk that can make you do negative things.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Also, I find that people, when they feel like someone betrayed them or like they weren't there for me. Well, some people, the ones that you want there for you, you don't realize they got their own things that they have going on. They're not necessarily slighting you all the time in all cases. Sometimes some people just can't be there for you. That's why you have to make sure that you always are there for yourself. Because some people may not be able to have the capacity to deal with you and their own stuff too. So you got to make sure you always, if nobody else show up for you, make sure you do.
Exactly. Because you never know what people going through. And
Right,
if this person has shown up for you 100 times and they miss one, are they a bad person?
right,
Are they unreliable?
right.
So that's a question that we should all ask ourselves.
Mhm.
The people in your life, give up some grace, give yourself some grace, and say, you know what, they was not there for me this time, but let me count the number of times that they have been there. And then we'll
Exactly.
stop being so self-absorbed and
Right.
entitled
Right.
and become self-aware and understand that life happens to us all. Just because you're going through a storm, that don't mean that you're the only person that's going through it.
You're right. Because I notice me when I'm focusing on myself, when I take those times away where I kind of go into not solitude, but when I go into where I'm just kind of inward, and then people they take it personal and make it about them. It's not about you.
Yeah,
Give me some grace. You should know me better by now. That when I go back into my cocoon, I'm coming out a butterfly. So let me do that. It's a process that I have to go through periodically in my life. There's nothing against you. If we didn't fall out before that happened, we're still cool when I come out the cocoon. But right now, I got to go inward and work on some things.
absolutely. And with
Right.
that being said, we're going on over to the reality check because
Mm-hmm.
growth sounds good, right? But the truth behind it, it is not comfortable. Growth isn't comfortable. It's not designed to be comfortable.
No.
It needs to make you stretch so that you can know that there is more to what you have right now in this moment.
Right.
So, what's one uncomfortable truth people need to hear about personal growth?
It's going to force you to get uncomfortable and shake things up. Basically, you're going to be like Humpty Dumpty. Everything's going to break and fall apart. And you have to have faith and confidence in knowing that if it fell apart, it can be glued back together and maybe even stronger. So you just have to know that, things are not going to, you just got to know things are going to fall apart in your life. It's not going to be comfortable. And then you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable again. Because if everything was stay comfortable, you would never have a reason to stretch and grow or to see what capacity you have to stretch and what you can, the amount of things you can endure. You want to always check your endurance and your level of resilience when you're going through things to see how much you can take because you got to prove to you can't just stay in that one spot. You got to see, okay, man, I'm really stronger and more resilient than I realized I was. And if I didn't go through this time or this period of turmoil or whatever is going on, I wouldn't have known that. So
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
you got to embrace it and know that you don't ask for it to be over. You just ask for God to give you the capacity to deal with it, go through it, because it's always a really growth lesson and a growth spurt afterwards whenever you go through.
Absolutely. You have to go through it to grow through it. It's a
Right.
process, like you said. And with
Yes.
that being said, what belief or habit keeps people stuck the longest?
Lying to themselves, um, turning red flags to green flags when it's read, holding people in their life too long that they say, oh, this is my day ones when they should have been day 12s. It should have been got rid of them. Just basically just not being truthful with themselves, and they shirk it off as, oh, it's just whatever. No, they don't sit and take that hard look at themselves and like, you messing up and you should be further ahead and you could be further ahead. Come on, is this all you want for your life? You gotta have that conversation with
Hmm.
yourself. The only person that know the real about you is you, because you live with yourself every day. So you know
Right.
when you're not giving your best. I know when I'm not giving my best. I know when I'm kind of just skimming the surface. And other
Hmm.
people know that too. You're not oblivious. When you're grown, you know that you're not giving something your all, or doing better than you could be doing. You could be doing more.
Absolutely.
You know that
Yeah.
about yourself.
You know that about yourself, or you should know that about yourself, but some people are just, they don't want accountability. They don't want to take that accountability. So they try to put the spotlight on some people, on others, and not themselves. Because if it's on them so long, they get uncomfortable with,
Yeah,
okay, they're gonna find out who I am, and it's gonna come to surface, and then I'm gonna have to deal with what I've been hiding or trying to keep hidden. But there's always somebody watching that knows the stuff that
it's
you try to conceal.
right.
Hmm. What's one hard lesson that has shaped who you are today?
One hard lesson I had to learn was I can be myself, but I can't be myself with everybody, because everybody,
Mm.
I'm always going to be myself, but I was being myself with people who mistook it, who abused it, who mistake my kindness for weakness. So I'm not going to say, well, I'm not going to ever be like, I'm going to be a terrible person. I'm going to be a mean person from here on out. No, I'm going to still be the same kind person. It's just going to be levels to it and who gets what. Some people get the surface kindness. Some people get the kindness that leads them to the inside of my heart. So I had to learn how to decipher between the both.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is one reality that people need to understand about love and relationships?
You have to realize with love and relationships that it starts with you first.
Hmm.
And you got to find the love within yourself first, instead of, and some people, I feel like they search for that love outside of themselves. And then when it doesn't work out, they feel like they're half a person or they feel unloved. But when you love yourself and you trust yourself to make a good decision for yourself, and you know your spirit of discernment is high or sharpened, you can trust yourself to try and take that leap of faith when it comes to love. And then you're going to be on alert for all the signs, the danger signs and the red flags that you feel. You're not going to ignore them. You're going to look at it for what it is. And then you're going to know how to make an exit plan early on when you feel like, you know what, this feels familiar. This is Philly. I've been down this road already. I'm seeing how this playing out, and abort the plan. People
Hmm.
stay too long.
Oh yeah.
I think you stay too long because you think it's going to change, because you think your love is strong enough to change them, and it's not. Because if that person on the other end doesn't want to make those changes and be able to accept healthy love and to be a healthy lover, it's not going to happen. So it's love
Absolutely not.
starts with individual self.
Absolutely. We have to. And we have to set those boundaries that I'm not going to compromise the love that I deserve, because I know that the love that I give myself, and I know that the love that I'm getting from God, He does not want me to be half loved. And
Right,
a lot of people find that out too late, and then they don't leave because of history or familiarity. And they
right,
feel like, dang, this is the life that I have. No, God does, He didn't put us here to go through life and be miserable
right.
or
And I know
be in. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know each time that I've been in a relationship and when they didn't work out or whatever, I had to take it back to myself. Where was I at in myself? What was I going through? Because sometimes when you, depending on where your launch pad, where you're at, and your emotional well-being, or where you're at in your own brokenness or whatever, you'll go through a relationship with someone who feeds that and who doesn't, so you got to make sure that you, before you even try to be in love or be having love with someone, make sure you have a certain amount of wholeness yourself that you had to heal, and you got to feel to heal. So make sure you feel all your things that you need to heal and work on that before you come and bring it and deposit into someone else's life. If you don't have the capacity to have a healthy love or receive it or give it, stay to yourself and quit hurting other people with yours,
Hey,
inability.
be- because that person hurt people, and that person is gonna go on to hurt somebody else. And then
Mm-hmm.
we have like a cycle of hurt people that's going out there saying that they're looking for relationships, but they don't have that, like you said, capacity to know when love is healthy.
Right.
All about the healthy love. All about the healthy love. You guys have
Um,
been listening to Kicking
healthy.
It With KeKe, Life, Love, and Mindset. We are here with Coach Joy of Joyful Connections. This has been an amazing episode thus far. We're going to move on to our action step, um, because mindset without action does not create change. So,
Right.
in your opinion, Coach Joy,
Mm-hmm.
what is one action someone can take daily to shift their mindset?
Daily, you need to wake up and choose yourself, first of all.
Mm,
You need to wake up and realize, you know what? I'm not perfect and I'm not striving to be perfect. I'm just striving to be efficient and perfect enough for me.
mm,
And you just have to wait. Every day it's a daily choice that you wake up to, you know what? I'm going to work on this thing. I'm not going to just wake up and feel like I have life by the tail, because none of us do. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to make a conscious action steps towards making sure that I'm learning more. I'm doing some self development. I'm doing some listening to some good books. I want to take in gather information, because information is what's going to help you get to the next level of yourself, because you're not going to learn anything new if you're still doing the same thing that you're doing. If you're just relying on yourself, the things that you got to go sometime outside of yourself and gain more information that you can apply to your life, and just become an information junkie to learn some things. If you really want to shift your life and be better and to get in a different place, learn and embrace and be with brown people, or even if you listen to audiobooks of people who've been through these things already, and they can teach you and show you how they got out of it. And you can just take bits and pieces that you're willing to, execute to see if it'll help you with your journey. That's what I feel.
absolutely. So we're all about the mindset shifts and resets. What do you do personally to reset yourself when life feels overwhelming?
I go more within. Like, I like to go through, I like to sit with myself and think and be like, hey, what could I have done differently, or what should I do differently? And then I go, prayer helps me. Prayer is huge for me. Lord, I spend some a long time with God and be like, Lord, I'm getting ahead of you and I'm getting ahead of myself. So I need to step back, because I asked you to lead me and I'm stepping in front of you. So I get my butt in the back seat like I'm supposed to be and let God lead. And then I follow and fall in line. Sometimes I got to get back in alignment with what God's plan is for my life, or what He's downloading into me. And sometimes I have to turn down the noise of other people. I may have to say, no, I can't come to the birthday party or the family event, because being in tune with myself and being aligned with what God has for my life and mapping out for me is more important than me going to sit in front of a plate of chicken wings right now. I got to get myself together. So I have to, sometimes I go off to myself and I do quiet things. I love
Mhm.
to color with my adult coloring books. That kind of recenters me. I like to open the windows and look at the sun, reset my circadian rhythm. I like to do things that makes me more present with myself, and that helps me get more clarity. And I'm like, okay. And it's like all these little things drop, like, okay, I got this. And then when I come back out, I'm like, I'm back, everybody. Let's continue on. I have to do it like that.
Absolutely. Come on. What you said? Circadian rhythm?
Circadian rhythm. When you
Circadian
every day I
rhythm.
do circadian rhythm is, you get up, you gotta set, you get up, I look outside, whether it's sun or nothing. And my son taught me that about that. It's very important, because it tells your mind, instead of me getting up looking at screens and looking at what's on Facebook and Instagram, he said, make the first thing you see is nature and outside the sun or whatever, because it's gonna let you know in your brain and your whole body, it says it's morning time. So, and it kind of helps set your day. And so that's what I've
Hmm.
been doing. It kind of helps me map my day and get it, whatever. So you reset that circadian rhythm. That way, when it's time for evening time to come, you start seeing the sun go down. That signals to your body and your nervous system, okay, we're approaching nighttime. That means wind down. That means
Time
turn
to
off all the
rest.
worries you've been worrying
Hmm.
about, get you ready
Hmm.
for bed, which is going to give you a better rest. And when you rest well, you have more clarity. So that's really important to me. I'm actually doing the 75-day challenge. It's called the Heart Challenge. 75 days hard challenge. So I'm doing that with my son. And so it's like my day is blocked out, and like certain times of the day, from this time of the day to this, you do this. Afternoon time, you do this. Healthy lunch. 10 minutes of mindfulness, do a little light exercise, do your little chores, then the next block of time. So I've been doing that. This is my third week and I really love it. It has really got me more present and I get a chance to see where my hours of my day is going. And I don't do it
Hmm.
perfectly, but I've been just getting better and better in sync with it every week. So I've been doing that just to restructurize my day and myself.
I love that. I love that. If we don't challenge ourselves, we can get stuck in old cycles that is not working for us. So I
Right.
challenge anybody, do something different. Challenge
That's what
yourself
I'm
to do something different. I'm training for a marathon right now because I want to run a marathon before I turn 50. I have 2 years, started training in March. My body is starting to change. I
right.
feel amazing. And
Yeah.
it's just transformative. I cannot describe it. That's the only word that I can use to describe it. I am enjoying it. Like my body hurt. That means it's working, but I'm
Right.
welcoming it. I'm not just I'm showing up. Just put it like that. I'm showing up.
That's beautiful. And you don't have to show up perfect. That's the great part where we think, oh, I ain't gonna do it because I'm not doing it wrong. Or my endurance, you're building your endurance.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
don't care if you come in last in the race. You ran the race. That's what matters.
Absolutely. So, Coach Joy, tell the listeners how they can work with you, where you hang out at, how can they get in touch with you if they wanted to get like a discovery call or whatever you offer in your coaching business. Go ahead and tell the people where you are.
On Instagram, TikTok. Instagram is at Joyful Connections Life Coaching. In my bio, there's a link you can click on my website. I offer chats also too, because some people don't need coaching. I do the chats for people who just need a regular conversation. That way, I can still help other people because people do love to talk to me. But so it's not all just hairstylists. I have my coaching for the hairstylists and I also offer these 15-minute and I offer 15-minute and 30-minute chats with Coach Joy. I made them so economical because some people just need someone to talk to that they're not
Hmm.
going to hear the things they're going through. They can't go to a family member. This is for men or women, these calls. And many people utilize those. And then once they do those, it's kind of a lead in. I use it as a lead magnet too. Because sometimes they say, I think I'm going to coach with you. Because I coach beauty professionals, but if somebody else wants coaching, and personal development things or build confidence, I'll still coach them also. But I do that, and it just really I call them mood boosting chats, and then I have coaching offers, which are in like 3 month, 6 month, and 12-month offers. Also, I'm working on a communication, just a specific thing, because I'm finding that people are having a hard time with effective communication in the beauty industry and out. So I'm working on a little module for that I want to add to my website, where if somebody just want to take the communication part, where they want to learn to speak with authority and be bold in their speaking and being effective and using their words and finding their voice, I want to add that on too. So I'm working on that behind the scenes. And then I'm writing for the magazine. And then I just joined this other community it's called Black Women Do Heal. I'm in that. I do that, and it's every Tuesday evening. It's wonderful. I'm just always in these different spaces because the more spaces that I get, I can better serve the people who come to me for what they need. And then I'm on
Absolutely.
TikTok, TikTok, Facebook. TikTok is Joyful Connections Life Coaching. Facebook is Joy Harris. That's my name. And you can find me on those places and book your appointments. And I would love to hear from you. My discovery calls are complimentary for now. I'm going to change that. But right now, if you want to have just a complimentary call to see who will be a good fit for coaching with each other, you can do that. It's 30 minutes, and it's a 30-minute call, and I can tell you, what I'm about, and you can tell me your coachable topics, and that's how you can reach out for me.
Absolutely. Thank you for plugging yourself. Thank you for giving us that information. It would be included in our show notes. Before we wrap up, I always ask for a mic drop moment. So if you could say something to someone right now about mindset or life experiences that you've overcame and gone through, what would that mic drop moment be?
Right now, I'm really huge on just self acceptance, accepting yourself as is and make the corrections and changes that you want. But first, embracing yourself as is. You are who you are because that's who God designed you to be. And you get to decorate, it's like you get to decorate your palette how you want to do it. It's like you're this empty canvas. You get to color it the way you want. So I would like for people to know that, just showing up that's the first major step. Just showing up, Look in the mirror at yourself. Take the time one day, just look at yourself, not just to hurry and brush your teeth, whatever. No, take a long look at yourself and just take in yourself and then just to realize that you are one of one. There's nobody in the world that could ever be like you, even if they try. They can put a mask on, they can do anything. It could be even your twin. They're not, they don't even have the same DNA. There is nobody like you in the world. Nobody can ever be you. So that only that uniqueness and that one thing, that one that you were created only to be you, that there's nobody else that can be you, that's a greatness. And then being yourself, because when you're faking to be someone else, the blessings God has planned for your life, they're not going to reach you. They're going to reach a fake version of you. You want to
Mm-hmm.
be yourself, whatever that is. Embrace your vulnerability. Share your story and not worry about the feedback or who won't accept it or who's going to be murmuring and talking about it and clutching their pearls. So what? It's your story. Everything that you've been through. I don't care if you've been in prison. I don't care where you've been, because I don't care wherever you've been, whatever walk of life you've come from. Those are all the things that has been the components to make you who you are. And just embrace who you are. Self-acceptance. Be okay with you. If you're a little fat, if you're a little short, if you got a big nose, if you got funny flappy arms, embrace everything, because that's what makes you you. And as long as it's functioning in a way it is designed to function, embrace yourself and just be okay with it. And whoever is not okay with it is a them problem, not yours.
Yeah, and mic drop, for real, mic drop. So this is the question that I ask all of my guests moving forward, because it's a new signature kicking it with KeKe question.
Mhm.
When life challenges you and love stretches you, what mindset keeps you grounded?
Knowing that everything's going to level out, that this is a process I have to go through to get to another higher level in myself and a better version of myself, that I have to go through. Sometimes you got to go through hard things. And I tell myself, I can do hard things. I can endure hard things, because I know that if God's taking me through something, He's not gonna just leave me there. He got something beautiful waiting on the other side of whatever that something is. So I keep that mindset is like, I'm gonna get through this. And I don't ask God, remove this. No, give me the capacity to go through this, because I can't wait to see what's on the other side, what you're gonna show me over there. Because it's always a learning tool, it's always a teaching lesson, and it's always something that you can apply to your life, and it just helps you grow and show up that much more better in life.
I love it. I love it. So thank you, Coach Joy, for tuning in and being here. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. If this conversation spoke to you, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs it. Remember, your story has power. I'm going to say it again. Your story has power. Your voice has purpose, and your mindset can change everything. Keep growing, keep loving, especially loving on yourself, and keep your mindset strong. I'll see you next time. Purple hugs. Later.
Okay.